All right, we have a major problem here in the office. Gut Nasty, has introduced us to the word John.
Is John on? Let me get this John out of here.
What does it mean? I'm not sure I quite know. I tried to look it up, and the only definition I really got was that it could mean literally anything.
This John's a mess.
A word that means so much and yet so little, has taken over our lives and been pretty much the only word that we now use in the office.
So what happens when you just let all these Johns in here?
We may be based in New York, but we have become Philadelphian real quick because of Gut.
Yeah.
Head to Brooklyn, because for some reason Underdog likes to operate out of Bushwick. It's where I send all my friends that I dislike that moved to New York. They're like, hey, you know, where can I get a good apartment? Where can I move that's like fun? And I'm like, fuck, Bushwick. Little do they know, it's Bushwick. But because I love Pete Overzet, he's hosting a spin class today, doing the Underdog Cardio in-person event somewhere in Bushwick. We're going to support him. We're going to draft a team. We're going to do a spin class. We're going to sweat a lot. And I think that's it. I don't know how big the class is going to be. I don't know who's going to be there. We might be the only people there. Yeah, you know, when like you and your friends get invited to a party, and you're like, say we're going to a party, and then you show up and you're like 75% of the party. Kind of have that energy coming for today. So if anything, nice little bonding session. We'll see what Jameson's really about when he gets sweaty.
My pickleball preview, my stamina.
I have a feeling we're going to, you know, despite us looking like we're in good shape, the company, we're probably the 3 worst cardio people that are going to be in this place.
Oh, it's horrible.
My cardio is terrible.
I run like a 10-minute mile.
That's good.
You ever done a spin class?
I've not. I'm more so worried about winning the fantasy draft than lasting in the spin class.
That would be kind of funny if they did it where it was like, you have to get to a certain like distance in order to make your next pick. Something like the quicker you get to it, the quicker you're allowed to pick.
No,
So whoever's really slow can't pick.
Knowing Pete, probably gonna have to do something like that.
Pete's probably a monster. Yeah, I hope he has it like where it's like the randomizer wheel kind of like mixed into what we have to do.
He's probably.
I already said we're gonna be like 2 or 3 rounds in. I'm gonna take a call. I'm gonna pretend I got a call and be like, I got a business, you know, gotta handle some shit. Come back in like a 14th round. I'm like sitting in the bathroom drafting my team. Yeah.
I ripped 2 C4s right before coming here. I'm still not gonna make it. I'm still gonna die within 2 minutes, dude. I wasn't built for this.
I can't imagine anyone that's coming today is gonna be in good shape though.
Yo, so what are we doing? We're running our own draft or what?
Yeah, so basically they were like, you guys aren't that important, so we're not letting you in the original 12-person draft. So you can do 3-man drafts on Underdog, where it's just us 3. So we're gonna try to rip as many as we possibly can within like an hour of the spin cycle class.
These things are mad weird. Very off balance on ground.
Feel ready to pedal?
No, not at all. I feel ready to fall.
One time it's supposed to be advertised.
I kind of wish these were Bluetooth and we could just like get on a phone call and talk to each other as we're drafting.
Where did you go now? Where did you go now? I wanna know. Where did you go? Where did you go?
I didn't even crack a sweat today. I actually like didn't sweat at all today.
No, yeah.
Less.
It wasn't as bad as I thought. I might have topped pickleball. I don't know if pickleball would have been that good.
No, definitely no. Pickleball is
Topped
100%.
it. Like you would have more fun doing this.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. You didn't think?
Well, I think you had fun because you were drafting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we weren't drafting, I would have done.
Oh, well,
That
obviously.
did make it fly by.
It did, yeah.
Oh, yeah, just sitting there without drafting would have been pretty rough.
Yeah, so we did a 3-man draft, just me, Nick, and Jamo. You know, I think we ripped off 4 or 5. Yeah, I was gonna say we ripped off like 4 or 5. Feel good about it.
It's really hard to tell.
If we were to do it again, I think I would definitely go harder.
In the draft?
On the bike.
Oh.
No, on the draft.
It was like,
Go on fucking
that's what I
draft.
would have done. It was like you were trying to pace yourself on the bike.
Yeah,
Because you're like, you know, it's gonna be a long one. Like you were just pacing yourself for it to end, and then it was stuck.
yeah. Not a great way of going about it.
Where did you go now? Where did you go now? I wanna know. Where did you go? Where did you go?
I'll show you the one that's actually on the from my junior year.
$8:59 in the morning. And we're watching Gut high school film.
Oh, this is high school?
You just lost so much respect from Jamo.
My college film, they don't make like college tapes.
Yeah, they do. They did for Reggie Bush. Damn. Why don't you ever do that to Matt in the office?
I get tackled here. Ah!
Turn it off. It's like when Matt gets above 10%. Turn it off.
Alright, that's about it. That's Nikki's highlights.
I'd be yelling as I stiff arm people.
So it's been a while since I've been doing some trivia comparisons for our performances, and I gotta say, I do think the standings and the comparisons have made a change. Matt used to be this huge juggernaut where just no one could stop him, and I still think Matt deserves that top tier. I think if I made this video a few weeks ago, I would have said Matt's like the Kansas City Chiefs. It's not gonna win every single game, but if he popped off and went 20-0, became the next Dynasty, no one would be surprised.
Our boy Matt, he's been slipping a little bit in trivia. He started out of the gate real hot with a record that's, not sustainable. We knew the fall off was coming, but could anybody have seen the fall off be this hard?
Trivia, I've been slumping a little bit. I think the game, it's a little bit less about knowing ball. I think there's, a little bit more luck involved.
I think now if you look at the current standings, it's everyone's game at this point.
Still been having as much fun, won a Jeopardy, been trying to get my wins where I can. I feel like I'm getting my get back a little bit. Kind of showed it a little bit today.
Matt may have cooled off a little bit in the performance side of trivia, but when it comes to making new games and cooking up graphics, he's still on fire.
In general, though, just continuing to cook up content, memes for you guys. Know you guys are enjoying them.
He came up with a new wavelength game. That was a heater that got a lot of positive feedback. It was a fun one to play. I think that's going to be a staple going forward in our trivia, so congrats to you, Matt. Let's clap it up. We'll clap it up for you.
Just have so much fun coming here, get to interact with you guys. A couple of you guys have noticed me in person. It's just like a weird feeling. Took some pictures with some people. Everywhere I go, someone's screaming out gumption or something.
Yo, you're that guy from trivia. I seen you on TikTok.
Yeah, dude. Nah, I'm in a little bit of a trivia slump.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if you're familiar with the new version of me.
Nick, at this point, he's doing really well this past few weeks.
All right, you know what? Actually, I want to predict. I haven't seen it yet. I know Jameson came in here and he wanted to do player comps for trivia. Again, he's doing updated. I don't know why he keeps doing the same ones. But he was like, I don't know who to do for Nick because he's been so hot lately. So I think he's going to go way above this because he doesn't he's not mean like me where I'll comp you to fucking Brady Quinn if I need to. I feel like it only comps people to all pro, even if they're playing at high school level.
All of a sudden, I think Nick, I give him usually a veteran comparison because he is the vet around here.
What a good comp would have been for me would have been Jarek McKinnon, right? Someone who is definitely a specialty player. I definitely heat up when we're talking about fantasy or stats, especially over the last 10 years in trivia. Historic stuff, not my cup of tea. But Jarek McKinnon, historic playoff run last year, helped you win your fantasy playoffs. He got hot down the stretch, and that's what's happening right now. I'm a second half of the year player, second half of the summer trivia player. So I should be Jarek McKinnon, and he probably fucking just comped me to Tom Brady or some stupid shit.
Nick might be like the Tom Brady Bucks, where it's it might not be the dynasty Tom Brady that won with the Patriots fucking every year it felt like, but he still got some glimpses. He could shine. He just needed to adjust, needed to get acclimated. All of a sudden he might go on a winning streak, just win a Super Bowl. And I think me and Nick are on a very, very similar tier at this point.
Trivia, I did well this week, did better than expected. I think I won a few games.
Gut. This isn't for comparing Gut's trivia performance, but just how everyone perceives Gut's kind of like the 2017 Jags, Saxonville, where they got to the AFC Championship. We see Gut and them as the same thing. We all how the hell did you get here? We don't know, but now that you're here, we're rooting for you.
Me and Gut played ball. Me, Gut, and Jack played ball together. Fuck it. Jack, Nick, and Gut highlights.
They're playing basketball
all around the world. To the beach, y'all. Let's go. All around the world. Y'all know this is so that. To the beach, y'all.
We playing basketball.
Definitely a little bit out of shape from my injury and everything, from me tearing my hip. That took a toll, but outside of that, we still balling.
We had a meeting with Underdog. Underdog's like our key partner right now for business.
Underdog, they are opening up a contest that's going to run for the rest of the summer, specifically for the BDG audience, because a lot of the content that we make is Superflex focused, and all their drafts are only one quarterback league. Still a very fun platform, still ripping off drafts every single day. But now that we can do Superflex drafts, my bank account is about to be drained.
I threw them a few logos that I created together. You guys can tell us what you think of them, which one you think would be cool to represent the tournament that we have on the Underdog platform.
That reminds me, Matt and Nick came up with one of the most horrendous logos to use as our cover photo for this BDG Underdog contest.
Yeah, NFL preseason. It's just nice. Preseason's back, man. Football is here. I'm just a football fan, a lover at heart. This is what I live for. I'll watch anything. Me and Nick were just cooking up some preseason betting slips in the back. Some things to look out for.
I mean, after Underdog sees that logo, they are just going to strip us from all creative input. There's just no way they let us do this again after seeing that logo that we're about to submit.
Then we had a meeting internally because we're starting a Dynasty League between everybody in here, and we're trying to figure out how to give away the other spots in the Dynasty League. We've got 8 filled. We need 4 more. This is what happens when you build a brand, when you build loyalty, when you build something that people want to be a part of, to have access to. Those types of things become very valuable. But what I think are the biggest opportunities in today's world, what I think are the most valuable things to consumers and customers are really access, especially to media type companies, right? Like no one wants access to a goddamn finance firm or accounting firm. No one really cares about that. But when you build a media brand and people kind of fall in love with the personalities, they want access to you. So that is an extremely valuable thing that we have to be able to give to people. And within that, we kind of brainstorm like, what do we want in return? Let's turn this into a marketing campaign, right? You might not really think of it that way, but if we're saying, hey, we got 4 Dynasty spots to give away, very valuable to our audience. They want to play with us. They want to play against us in a fantasy football league. Very valuable. What do we want to make the goal of this marketing campaign? Do we want to build up our email list? Do we want to build up our subscriber base? Do we want them to purchase something of ours? Do we want them to, do X, Y, Z? We can point them in a very long list of different directions. And that's what the meeting was about, talking a little bit more in depth about where we want it to go and how do we execute on the direction that we do want to go in.
And I think the biggest news this week is that Jamo has officially posted his first video onto our fantasy YouTube channel.
Nick did give me a shot at making a YouTube video on the main BDGE fantasy channel. I gave my tight end tiers.
Let's clap it up one more time for one of the boys. Good job, Jamo. And Gutterstein, who was the editor of that one. Clap it up for him too.
And all around, I think it was pretty positive feedback. Nick said I had a great run at my first shot, and the comments for the most part are very positive. They agreed with both my rankings, and we're on page with who I am. They seem to be good with my personality.
And it's funny because normally, anytime we try to introduce somebody new onto that channel, it's a tough learning curve for whoever's creating content. Our audience, they don't give the warmest greetings to whoever is new on that channel. But to my surprise, he got really good feedback, which I'm happy for. I'm happy that the people are really accepting of Jamo. It's a first. I mean, hell, sometimes I make editing changes and I gotta hear about it. I mean, I try to use a new graphic and people are like, what the fuck is this new graphic? L graphic.
I just might need to find my own lane a little bit more. The first video, I threw a couple of Nick's traits and tricks in there, such as Juwan Johnstein and tucking in your shirts and flexing your traps. I'll find my own lane, I'll find my path, and hopefully we'll keep the ball rolling there. I'm gonna have weekly videos coming out on Wednesdays on the main channel, like I said, so check it out there. Hopefully that could be a stepping stone in me evolving myself into BDGE.
And I believe I heard Gut talking a little bit in the office how he wants to build chemistry with Jamo. Jamo's gonna be like the Joe Burrow, Gut's gonna be like the Jamar Chase, and those two are just gonna have a top 5 offense for the next decade and a half, creating YouTube videos for BDG on the fantasy page. And that's great. That's the energy that we need in this office.
Ripped it in the office this week, slept over for way too many days. Jamo feels way too close of a roommate to me. It's on, the tension's been rising, just that brotherly tension we've had.
But those two are building chemistry, for sure. they're getting into a little bit of a bromance. They've been spending a lot of time together. I mean, basically because Gut just moved into the office with Jamo. He saw that Jamo was living here and he was like, yo, same.
But it's good. It rubs off on each other. We're learning a lot about each other. It's been a great experience. I'm taking him to Philly today. That should be interesting in itself. Brotherly love. It's gonna be interesting. But no, I'm dropping him off at his girlfriend's and he's coming back later. I gotta run to Ithaca, moving into my apartment, all sorts of stuff. My English roommate's moving in, so I gotta pick him up and all that jazz. So that will be interesting in itself. We'll definitely have him on camera with his fucking accent and shit. So
anything that's been posted on that channel has pretty much been edited by me, and I'm trying to show Gut the ropes, which I'm not good at. Gut's trying to learn editing. I'm trying to learn how to teach editing, and all of this, we're just students of the game in some different level and some different grade. But yeah, I guess that's what I'm working on, trying to become a better leader, a better teacher.
Yesterday, Tony, Jack, and I saw some office space. So we've had this office space now for over a year. We moved in March 1 of last year, and we are on a 2-year lease. We have the option to extend it for another 3 years come March 1. It's a pretty long commitment. Not in the commitment game. I am for work. But if we're going to commit for something that long, we want to make sure that it fits the needs of where we want to go in the future. And Jack Settleman is a good friend of mine, and he's in a very similar spot to us, where he's running a sports media brand, and they're starting to grow, and they don't have a physical space yet. So my whole thesis, my whole kind of North Star for the office space in general is not, of course it is to run the business through here, but it's also just as much to get as many creative people in a physical space together and kind of follow your passions and create cool shit, right? Because I think when you're around other creative people, it's inspiring. I think a lot of the reason people don't create to begin with is because they are nervous about the judgment of other people, right? And if you put yourself in an environment or a situation where you're just around other people who are inspired or inspiring or creating, you're not going to feel that pull of the people that are too scared to put themselves out there pulling you down. Instead, you'll feel picked up, you'll feel inspired. So realistically, the office is just a larger scale version of that. Obviously, it works in my favor that we're running my business out of here, but the idea with bringing Jack and Snapback and whoever else on his team is here to work with us into the office is to continue to feed that creative energy. Like, I want to be around as many creative people as possible, whether it means collab. Might not mean a single thing for BDG as our business. I could care less. It's not what this is about. It's more about like waking up feeling good, feeling inspired, and I feel my best. So I guess it is a little selfish. I feel my best when I'm around creative people. So that's kind of what we want to do. It helps us obviously because it brings down the rent cost a little bit. If we split an office space, even if we are paying a little bit more because we probably have a few more personnel in there, I think it'll just be fun to have more people. That's really what it comes down to. I'm just trying to have fun, man. I'm just trying to have fun. Kids, stay in school, work hard, and one day you can have fun. I'm not having fun right now.
Jamo's growing into his role as a content creator.
No matter where this ride is taking me, I'm here for it.
Gut is growing into his role as a video editor.
Nah, it was pretty lit. So I'm gonna be back sleeping over next week. More roomie stuff. Roomie times. Insert Family Guy roomies. You should do that. Yeah, it was a pretty good week though overall.
Matt is growing into his role as the trivia god, even though his performance is slipping a little bit. Dude's still cooking up good memes on the internet.
It means a lot that you guys have taken a liking to me because, pretty neat opportunity.
Everyone's doing well. Everyone's doing great. Once again, we just keep on stacking great week after great week. It's what we do here.
I feel like I'm cut off on the camera. Is that true? That's true. I feel like you're pointing down. You're only seeing thighs right now. That in itself should get us to get you to hit the subscribe button.